Hi everyone, it's Michael, and I have been wanting to touch base with you guys for quite some time, and that's the entire objective of this video. So if you are here to check out orchids and orchid tips, today is really just us calibrating, so you can go ahead and skip this video, but if you want to know what's going on, let's chat. So what I want to do is just generally touch base. I have been getting so many questions about, where are you? Are you okay? And I really just want to kind of clarify a few things and just kind of let you know where I've been. So first of all, thank you guys so much for your concern. I'm very new to this YouTube world, and I'm very new to having a large community of people that are in any capacity invested in what I'm doing. So thank you for those who reached out and said, are you okay? And who approached it from a really positive perspective. Some people approached it from a very frustrated perspective, and I value your sense of urgency with having content, and I think that's really wonderful that you're so engaged. But I do want to just let you guys know, I do have a job that's very demanding. Sometimes I'm working 65 hours a week. I am very grateful for my job, and I really enjoy my job, and it's just very demanding in terms of scheduling. And beyond that, I try to make time for my fitness. I, of course, have to make time for my family because they're so important to me, and for my husband. So I am very much in the process of attempting to find balance, and sometimes I'm more successful than others. So I truly wish that I was just a stay-at-home orchid dad, and that's what my job was, but it's not, and I have to pay my bills. So I thank you so much for your understanding and for your kindness. I'm also about to turn 30 years old, and a lot of things are occurring to me in this process. I really want to hit some big milestones in my life. I would love to pay off my student debt, and I would love to have a house and just be a grown-up. So I'm trying to make bigger strides towards that, which means more labor-intensive hours at work. So thank you for just being supportive of me as I do that. You may have noticed, or actually you've undoubtedly noticed, that I've slowed down on my production of videos, but I don't want that to give you the wrong idea. So my reasoning is I have only been doing semi-hydroponic orchid growing since around April or May of this year. I've been growing orchids for I'm coming up on 2 years now. But the really startling discovery that I'm making is things that really, really served me as a classic medium orchid grower, they just don't translate to semi-hydroponic. Some things do, some things don't. So I'm really having to renegotiate and essentially develop a whole new system. So this has yielded some confusion and frustration in that process because, and maybe it's my fault, maybe I wasn't clear about the fact that this channel I'm not Miss Orchid Girl. I'm not Danny. She is an expert. She knows what she's doing. I am in the process of developing and going on this journey, and the objective of my channel and the objective of my work is to really allow you to come along with me. But I think that's created some confusion because as I attempt something or as I try something, I don't want you to think that I'm presenting that to you as this is how you absolutely do it. I'm showing you this is how I'm doing it, and this is how I'm doing it in this moment. And that's also why I present these videos in series. I want you to understand that these things are liable to evolve and change. And if something stops serving me or doesn't serve me, I'll change direction. So this is really just an all-access pass to how I'm approaching this entirely new growing system. I truly need to sit on my hands. I move them around so much. Somebody told me I just need to sit on my hands when I talk too much like that. So I just wanted to be clear about that. And it's been interesting. I'm trying not to be a baby about this. Some people have been kind of critical and unkind, and I'm a sensitive person. I am not one to, create a fight online. I just think it's so silly. But it's kind of peculiar how with the sheer intensity with which somebody will approach a growing perspective. And what we do as orchid growers is we're nurturing life. We're nurturing these little plant beings. So it just strikes me as so bizarre that some people can be so hostile. But when I have presented information that isn't aligned with somebody else's approach, people can be mean. And so one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm not going to let it scare me off the path. Like, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, but at the same time I want to be more discerning about how exactly I'm doing that. So if I'm exploring something, I'm going to explore it for a longer period of time before I present it to you guys. And a lot of the things that I'm doing are extremely, extremely slow-going processes. Like right now I am evaluating what algae growth looks like with and without chemical treatment, and I'm going to make a video about that. But first I have to actually see what happens, and that's not necessarily a timely process. I'm evaluating urea versus urea-free growth. Orchids don't grow very fast, so that's a bit of a process. I am growing so many orchids that I've never grown before, and orchids are slow to grow, and they're also slow to die. So if I'm doing something wrong, it takes me a while to figure that out. So it's not necessarily, I'm not slowing down because I don't have anything planned for you guys. It's that sometimes in order to make a really informed video, I need to take my time with it. And I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you can just be patient with me, please. So there's that. Also, I'm really looking forward to starting to make care videos. But again, before I do that, I want to have at least a year and a half rapport with each of these orchids where I've gotten them to rebloom. It would be so silly if I'm like, well, it's failing and it never reblooms, but at least the vegetation's lush. Like, I don't want to steer you in a direction and present a care video when it's not actually going to yield the best outcome for you. So I need to have that experiential knowledge first. Of course, as I try new things, I'll let you in on it, but unless I have a conclusion that's really, really viable, I really want to take my time and invest in the process. So that being said, here is my commitment to you. Every single month you will receive, at the very, very least, you'll receive my monthly orchid collection update. And I think that's really important because that allows you to kind of see the trajectory of things over time. And if you're coming in as a new viewer, you can really just go to the update videos and see exactly what's happening and what those changes that I've made across over the period of time, what that's yielded in terms of how the plants are doing. So that'll always be present. I'll do one every single month. You have September coming up. You'll find out how my Paphiopedilum is doing. You guys are so cute. I love how concerned you are about my Paphiopedilum. But you will see during the September update. The last thing I wanted to say, I have my notes of course, is that I'm going to do a bit of a new series that I'm calling Q&A. I get so many questions in my personal messages which are sometimes orchid related and sometimes very much not. So I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to ask those questions of me. There seems to be a lot of curiosity about a lot of things. So I'm an open book within reason, so go ahead and ask your questions in the comment section below. And I will do a video that's just Q&A. So I'll just answer your questions and try to be, I'll just be as transparent as I can with you guys about my life and whatever you wonder about, I guess. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. There's so much more to come. Please understand, I'm still so young in my orchid growing journey in general, but especially as it pertains to semi-hydroponics, which is really the focal point of this channel. I have one more new orchid that I've added to my collection, and I didn't add it to my collection. My boss got me this, and I was so touched, you guys, because like I mentioned it very, very casually to her. She's the coolest lady. And then I came into work and there was a jewel orchid sitting on my desk. So this is, and I'm sure I'm gonna butcher, it's a Ludicea orchid, and it is just so pretty. The leaves are so velvety and gorgeous, but she got this for me. And I just like, it really touched my heart because I've never had this kind of orchid before. It's terrestrial, I'm still learning all about it. I didn't do a repot video on it because I know nothing about it, and I'm just seeing how it fares in semi-hydroponics. So there will, of course, be updates to come on this guy and so much more. I love you guys. You're wonderful. You make my heart happy, and I look forward to the September update coming up soon and the Q&A video. Mwah! I love you guys. Bye.